Hello everyone, I am Dr. Anshu. Today we will discuss about communication skills. Communication is a process by which two or more people exchange their ideas, opinions, feelings, facts, etc. with one another. Along with that, it is expression uh, in a way that each one of them gain a common understanding of the message that is being delivered to them. In fact, we cannot imagine our life without communication because this is the essence of our life. We cannot uh, imagine of spending even one day without communicating anything to anyone. Since it is an inbuilt function and help us in our day-to-day life activities. So there are various aspects of communication that have been dealt with the specifications in the upcoming session. So today we will discuss the communication process, which is a continuous and lifelong process. Uh, it is a dynamic, constantly moving process, ever changing and even ongoing process also we can say to it. There are various names that we can give it to. Basic purpose of communication is creation of meaning, receiving something, receiving any message out of any communication or whatever is being delivered to the other person. Meaning exists in the mind of the people but not in the words. In fact, communication because words, symbols, signs, and do not have meaning of their own. But people have meaning for them. Moreover, meaning are transmittable into nature. They vary from person to person. Little bit variations of meanings are received by the receivers as per their own level of information, level of knowledge, level of language, etc. So today in detail we'll discuss about communication skills, how important they are in our life. With that, how do we receive, how can we enhance the various communication skills as per the requirement of our life situations. Communication, we can say, if we define it as per the Oxford English Dictionary, then we can say that the imparting or exchanging information by speaking, writing, using some other mediums, the successful conveying or sharing of ideas and feelings is known as communication. Communication is much more than word. Whatever you are saying, the person who is listening may receive more than that. So it depends upon the way you are conveying and the way the other person is inferring the meaning out of your communication. So how effective your communication is, that matters. If your communication is more effective, then definitely you may be delivering more information through the same communication, through the same words. But the way you communicate it to others really matters. Now language employs symbols also in communication, which as we must have observed many symbols around us. Nowadays on social media also we are conveying many messages through symbols only, and we are well aware of the meanings and feelings of each and every symbol. So language really employs many things. Out of them, one is symbols, and they are the best medium of conveying a message from one person to another person, and these are the messages are also conveyed through symbols in an effective manner. So we can always use symbols in a we can infuse symbols in our writing, in our speaking, in our day-to-day way of expression of our communication. Communication skill allows you to understand and be understood as well. So it is vice versa, both the ways. These can include, and they are not limited to effectively communicating ideas to others, actively listening in conversations, and giving and receiving critical feedback and public speaking. All these are also included into communication. Now, what as per your knowledge is communication skill? So you can see effective communication, even you must have heard that communication, it should be effective, it can be learned. What is it? We will know it in detail. They are the abilities you use when giving and receiving different kinds of information. For example, we can include communicating new ideas, feelings, or even update our new projects. Communication skills involve listening, speaking, observing, and empathizing as well. It is also helpful to understand the differences in how to communicate through face to face interactions, phone conversations, and digital communications like email, social media, etc. So effective communication, if you wish to have, then you should have better response from the other respondents, and quick. You should always be quick and prompt in answering and resolving the issues. So advanced professional image is created once if you have effective communication skills. So you should always have better control upon your skills in relation to the profession that you are leading. Consistency in the workflow is also essential, and more productivity can also be taken, can also be received once if you have effective communication skills. These are the benefits that you may receive once if you have effective communication skills. So some examples of communication skills are when you are good at listening, when you have a friendly behavior, when you are open-minded to others, and when you have balanced behavior, when you have confidence, obviously, and non-verbal communication is also a major part of communication. So there are different types of communication skills you can learn and practice at home, and they can help you become an effective communicator. Many of these skills work together, making it important to practice communication skills in different contexts wherever possible, whenever possible. So if you are enhancing one skill, obviously the other is also enhanced. So they are interconnected to one another. So once if you have acquired the active listening skills, then you are proceeding towards the better communication level. So active listening means paying close attention to the person who is speaking to you. People who are active listeners are well regarded by their co-workers because of the attention and respect they offer to others. Sometimes you must have observed the people sitting around you, and after each and every moment you may find them asking you, what did the person say, what did the person say? That means they don't have even the confidence on their ears, what they are listening, they are not receiving the things in a proper way. So you can be an active listener by focusing on the speaker, avoiding distractions like cell phones, laptops, or any other things that may create distraction. By preparing questions, comments, or ideas to thoughtfully responsive way, you can acquire always once if you are active listener. So active listening techniques can help you truly understand what people are saying in conversations and meeting. Otherwise, you may always rely on the other person, whosoever is sitting beside you, that he must have heard. I did not hear, I could not hear, I must have heard something that is not appropriate. So you do not have confidence upon your ears. So in that case, you should build the trust and establish rapport by acquiring the active listening skills. Adapting your communication style to your audience is also necessary. How can you do that? Different styles of communication are appropriate in different situations. That is really necessary to understand. To make the best use of your communication skills, it is important to consider your audience and the most effective format to communicate with them. So this is really expected once if you wish to become a good communicator. So if you are communicating with a potential employer, it's better to send a formal email or call them on the phone. That is also the best medium of communicating formal information. So it depends upon the situation, that what sort of situation is and you are in which situation. Accordingly, you can proceed further with the communication processes that are already available. So it's easier to communicate complex information in person or via a video conferencing than in long, dense emails. So sometimes if there is, the information is really essential, and if you wish to deliver it to many people and you don't want them to infer their own meanings through emails, then in that case you can always use video conferencing. Friendliness is really necessary. You should always be friendly once if you are communicating to others. That is a incorporated part of formal behavior. Characteristics such as honesty, kindness, often faster trust and understanding project that you are friendly. The same characteristics are important in workplace relationships. When you are working with others, approach your interactions with a positive attitude. Keep an open mind and ask questions to help you understand where they are coming from. Small gestures, such as asking someone to how they are doing, smiling as they speak, or offering praise for work well done, can help you faster productive relationship with both colleagues and managers. So you should always be reactive once if you see any positive, any good behavior in front of your eyes. So if something is happening, you should always react accordingly. That is most necessary. Even you should have confidence, because sometimes we know everything but still we do not have confidence to project that knowledge in front of us. In the workplace, people are more likely to respond to ideas that are presented with confidence. Nobody wishes to dig the ideas into your brain, but rather they are willing to know what you can express to them in a confident manner. So there are many ways to appear confident, such as making eye contact when you are addressing to someone, sitting up straight with your shoulders open and preparing ahead of time. So you are thought that you are polished, you have confidence, you know everything, you can anticipate each and everything, and you'll find confident communication comes in handy, not just on the job, but during the job interview processes as well. So wherever you are, once if you are out of your house, then in that case you are expected to behave formally. So that behavior is your formal behavior, and that is expected, that you should always behave confidently once if you are out of your home. That can be office environment, that can be any formal environment, that can be a meeting, that can be a party as well. So accordingly you should behave so that you can project your confidence through communication. So giving and receiving feedback is also very necessary. You can see here I have projected some positive and negative feedbacks. So we should not see into the depth of negative feedbacks, because they are not that much essential. Positive feedbacks is such as you can say, I like it, I love it. Good job, great stuff. That is correct. That's it. That's nice. That is right. Very good. Well done. If once you say these things, these words to others, definitely you will find that the person is encouraged, enthusiastic, and more energetic in that particular situation. So you should always convey these sort of positive feedback words. You should always use these words once if you are communicating it to others, such as awesome, brilliant, excellent, fantastic, magnificent, marvelous, outstanding, terrific. These are all the words that you can always use in your conversation. Strong communicators can accept critical feedbacks and provide constructive input to others also. Feedbacks are always necessary. You can always answer questions, provide solutions, or help strengthen the project or topic at the same moment, at the same time when you are conversing with others. So, this is really necessary. Uh, Once if you are communicating, volume and clarity are also necessary. You can see here the volume, rate of speed, pitch, inflation versus monotone, clarity, and enunciation. These are the necessary things that you should always take care once if you are communicating. When you are speaking, it is important to be clear and audible, adjusting your speaking voice so you can be heard in a variety of settings. Uh, Once it is critical to communicating effectively. Speaking too loudly may be disrespectful or backward in certain settings. If you are unsure, read the room to see how others are communicating. If you do not know the perfect way of conveying the message, even you can see the tone of other people whosoever is communicating in that particular environment. Empathy is also one more important thing. You should always have empathy. It means that you can understand and share the emotions of other. That is really necessary. This communication skill is important in both team and one-on-one setting. In both these cases, you will find that it is necessary to understand other people's emotions and select an. For example, if someone is expressing anger or frustration, empathy can help you acknowledge and diffuse their emotion. So, in that case, you can always have empathy. At the same time, being able to understand when someone is feeling positive and enthusiastic can be help, and you get support for your ideas and project from that particular person. So, you can see the creativity, feeling safe, identifying needs, negotiation, and collaboration. So you should always empathize with others. You can use these tools to enhance or build your relationship or enhance your communication skills. Respect is really necessary. A key aspect of respect is knowing when to initiate, communicate, and respond. This is really necessary because when you are not well aware when to respond, then in that case, you may not be able to react at the appropriate moment. In a team or a group setting, allowing others to speak without interruption is seen as necessary communication skills. So, respectfully communicating also means using your time with someone else wisely, staying on topic, asking clear questions, and responding fully to any questions you have been asked. That is really necessary. So, should always be related or relevant to the particular topic on which the discussion is proceeding. Understanding non-verbal cues is really necessary. You can see these faces, although they are not saying, they are not speaking anything. Here in this session, only I am speaking, but still you can see all these pictures are also communicating many things to you all. So the first picture that is projecting happiness, anger, and later you may see fear is also projected through this picture, and the person is sad. So these are the universal facial expressions which project many behaviors through these pictures. A great deal of communication happens through non-verbal cues such as body language, facial expressions, and eye contact. When you are listening to someone, you should be paying attention to what they are saying as well as their non-verbal language. By the same measure, you should be conscious of your body language when you are communicating to ensure you are sending appropriate cues to others, because what you are not speaking but still you are conveying and saying many things through your non-verbal behavior. Responsiveness is really necessary so you can obtain optimizing benefits, friendliness, respecting information and guidance, and gaining trust through responsiveness. So whenever you are returning a phone call or sending a reply to an email, fast communicators are viewed as more effective than those who are slow to respond. One method is to consider how long your response will take. Is this a request or a question you can answer in the next 5 minutes? If so, it may be a good idea to address as soon as it is possible. If it is a more complex request or a question, you can still acknowledge that you have received the message and let the other person know. You'll respond in full in the upcoming session that you can confirm. So in conclusion, we can say it's what you do not say that count. So learn to read and influence people through non-verbal communication. So you can see here the people are standing not saying anything. Still the pictures are conveying a lot whole message through their body language and behavior. So you can see that we can communicate many things through our body language, through our non-verbal behavior, and along with that we can imbibe such qualities so that we can convey our messages in a confident way to others.